people, and welcome to another episode of the Blackboard. Before we get into today's video, which belongs in the weekly series Faithful Fridays, I want to make sure to give a big shout out to our new subscribers. If you haven't seen your individual names in a video, it's because YouTube is not the best at letting me know that you have subscribed. Every once in a while, I find out through one of their convoluted pages that I have a number of new subscribers and the names are listed. Other times, they send me an email to my email box, which is the blackboard@gmx.com, should you ever need to reach me. But in general, I don't know everybody's name as far as the new subscribers. So I just want to say a big thank you and a big welcome to all of the new subscribers. I hope I can count on you to share these videos and help me rapidly build this channel. All right, as they say, and now on with the show. The exhilarating performer known as the Godmother of Rock and Roll was also considered the first gospel superstar. Her music, described as a blend of melody-driven urban blues with folk song arrangements and a pulsating swing, featured witty lyrics and a high-octane delivery, which influenced later artists from a wide variety of artistic genres. Both Johnny Cash and Little Richard named her their favorite singer of all time. Elvis Presley and Chuck Berry both crafted their songs and guitar playing styles from her original archetype. Though she loved to share the gospel, her popularity in nightclubs earned her disdain and even rejection from church folk. Charismatic and self-assured, she forged an unforgettable career which made her a musical legend. In this week's Faithful Fridays, we celebrate the indomitable Sister Rosetta Tharpe. Born on March 20th of 1915, in Cotton Plant, Arkansas, to Katie Bell Newbin and Willis Atkins, Rosetta Atkins, or Rosetta Newbin as she was known, was recognized as a musical prodigy on guitar by age 4 and began performing under the name Little Rosetta Newbin. Both of her parents had performance backgrounds, her father as a singer and her mother as a deaconess, missionary, singer, mandolin player, and women's speaker for the Church of God in Christ. By the age of 6, Rosetta regularly accompanied her mother in a traveling evangelical troupe. In 1934, at the age of 19, she married Thomas Thorpe, a Church of God in Christ preacher. However, the marriage was short-lived. When she began recording her first records for the label Decca in 1938, she chose a variant of her ex-husband's last name, spelling it with an A instead of an O, and Sister Rosetta Tharpe was born. Her first 4 recordings on the Decca label, That's All, Rock Me, My Man and I, and The Lonesome Road, were all instant hits, making her one of the first commercially successful gospel artists. In addition, the song Rock Me laid the blueprint for what would later become rock and roll. I know you've often heard of how blues artists like Muddy Waters were the architects of rock, but as usual, if you dig a little further, you'll find out a sister got there first. The inventor of heavy distortion on electric guitar, long before Jimi Hendrix was even born, Sister Rosetta Tharpe stretched the limits of gospel, blending a pioneering blues sound crafted by both her southern country and later urban musical roots. Her virtuosity and genius is exemplified on the hit Strange Things Happening Every Day, which is known as the first rock and roll record. Big, bold, beautiful, and bombastic, her musical collaborations with secular artists like Duke Ellington, Lucky Millinder, and the Dixie Hummingbirds earned her legions of fans, but the ire of church folk. As Sister Rosetta put it, she was bringing the light into the darkness of the nightclubs. Undeterred by pushback and even denouncement, her illustrious career made her a fixture in a variety of elite circles, both religious and worldly. Living as big in life as she did on stage, Sister Rosetta married multiple times. Her third marriage in 1951 to her then manager was held in Washington, D.C.'s Griffith Stadium. Over 25,000 people attended, many with gifts. Described as being open about her sexuality, Sister Rosetta Tharpe was rumored to have been romantically linked for a period of time to Marie Knight, a former protege of Mahalia Jackson. Not long after meeting, the two decided to work together and were a successful duo for many years. Throughout this time, whispers that the professional partnership was also romantic persisted in the entertainment world. However, these allegations were never substantiated by either Sister Tharpe or Miss Knight. Nevertheless, white media has labeled our dear sister queer, a term I doubt she would either call herself or appreciate being tagged. It is important to note the difference between choosing to live a full-blown lifestyle contrary to one's biological designation and the alleged occasional sexual experience most likely spurred by the loneliness of life on the road, underscored by the indignities of rampant overt racism from which blacks had little protection. The alphabet soup crowd loves to co-opt black luminaries as the face of their agenda, but we're going to focus on the public phenomenon that was Sister Rosetta Tharpe rather than speculation about her private life. A huge star in the 1930s and 40s, her popularity began to wane as Mahalia Jackson rose in prominence and as blues began to find its home among white musicians. However, in the mid-1960s, she began to tour Europe again. In a moment, we're going to take a look at one of her most iconic performances, 1964's Blues and Gospel Train, recorded for Granada TV at the Whalley Ranges Wilbraham Road Station in Manchester, England. Filmed on a rainy and cloudy day, the weather couldn't dampen the magnificence of Sister Rosetta Tharpe on full display, high-heeled stilettos and all. She performed until 1970 when difficulties from diabetes forced a retirement from the stage, but not the studio. On the eve of a scheduled recording session, she died in 1973 in Philadelphia of a stroke. This black woman behind the many men, both black and white, who later followed. This black woman behind the various artists from Neil Sedaka to Meat Loaf to Karen Carpenter to Aretha Franklin to Tina Turner and more, who were heavily influenced by her style, was finally inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame on May 5th, 2018. Please enjoy the following clip from her performance at the Wilbraham Road Station in Manchester, England, recorded in 1964. The link to the full video is in the description box. Wouldn't it be wonderful if our people tuned out the conditioning and programming of the MSM, the Main Street Media, and started tuning into uplifting, motivating content like this? Help me grow this channel by becoming a Negro with Aptitude and promoting this video through your network. Also, let me know what you think of it in the comments section. Next time on the Blackboard, we'll continue our study of Black theology and Black power, the groundbreaking work by Professor Dr. James H. Cone. I hope you'll join me. This is your Negro with Aptitude and host of the Blackboard, Mickee Lee, signing off.